Do you have the courage to ride with the devil? Then let's ride into Windy City. Alright, I get to talk about Kamen Rider Double, my second favorite series. How I would adapt it. Mostly taking notes from Thomas Jujube's video. Go watch him and subscribe to him, and subscribe to me as well! Haha! The Sonosaki family is a normal family. Wife, husband, 2 daughters, son, and a cat. They're extremely wealthy because the father of the family discovered this green energy source known as Gaia energy, which he calls it that, and they sell it as renewable energy. They're located in the Windy City, which, in Double would be Futo, but to adapt it to a wider audience, it's Chicago. One day, the son, Raito, mysteriously disappears and no one knows where he went. The family starts going insane trying to find him, and they start kind of falling apart. The mother leaves, and the father discovers an ancient book about Gaia energy, or the morphing grid, and says, if they get enough of the energy, they can create devices to try and get Raito back. So the company distributes a bunch of USB sticks with Gaia energy in it, creating the Gaia memories to try and get the power to get Raito back. But one day, 2 detectives break into the headquarters to uncover a conspiracy about the Gaia memories, and they discover some random kid who supposedly looks a little like Raito. But the detectives don't know that, and the kid doesn't even remember his name, so the older detective in the fedora decides to name him after his favorite writer. Fedora Man gets shot, and then the kid, now named Philip, gives the other kid, Todd, purified Gaia memories, and they escape. And eventually the 2 now adopted brothers grow up to be great detectives as Masked Rider Double. And we basically straight adapt Kamen Rider Double for the most part. And then we adapt the Double Meets Decade movie. Todd meets the embodiment of death, and also shows up the man in the fedora who becomes Masked Rider Skull. And then there's a moment where they're like, no, that's impossible, you're supposed to be dead. Backstory reveal, and Decade shows up because he's looking for evil Dex from the final of How I Would Adapt Decade. And then they find out that Death is actually a dopant and actually Dummy, aka a cheap double. And then they defeat the monster, and final attack ride is Cyclone, Cyclone, Joker, Joker. And then Aaron gives Todd the Masked Rider Skull card, and he summons an alternate universe version of the man in fedora, and he says, hey, nice hat. Throughout the series, we get a lot of hints that Philip might be Raito. We later introduce the secondary rider, Axel. And then our epic 5-part finale, the villains kidnap Philip to try and jog his memory to be Raito again by tossing him into a pool of Gaia energy. Todd shows up, defeats bad guys, but all of a sudden, from the pool of Gaia energy comes Raito. And it turns out that Philip really isn't him. It turns out that Raito accidentally tripped and fell into the pool years ago, and Philip is only a double of Raito because his family really, really wanted Raito back, so the morphing grid granted their wish by creating a double of him. Raito, who has spent a decade to himself accumulating all possible knowledge from the morphing grid, I mean Gaia energy, has kind of gone insane and turned evil. And now he has his own driver and an internal Gaia memory. And then he turns into Mask Rider Eternal, and he seeks to turn everyone into dopants under his control, starting with his family. And now it's up to Double, the hero of the people, to reach out and try to purify the villains of the series to fight against Eternal. But hey, what's with that Hawk coin? And who's that drifter chasing after it? It's our setup for next season, Masked Rider Triple. And then he transforms. Hawk, lion, grasshopper, tato ba, ba. And then he fights a little and then leaves for his series. And then it becomes clear to Todd and Philip that Eternal is just not going to be reformed and Raito is far too gone. And then this leads to the really awesome fight on top of the tower from the movie. Double gets knocked off the tower, but because he has to fight for the people of Earth, and people are cheering him on, the two brothers finally become one, and become Masked Rider, Double, Cyclone Joker, Extreme Gold. The angel to Eternal's devil. And then one rider kick, and Eternal driver is destroyed, the memory is destroyed, and Raito is sent to prison. But it's not all happy endings. Because Philip is of Gaia energy, and now the tower, which was above the main source of Gaia energy, is now gone and destroyed, and the Gaia energy is closed off. Philip no longer has an easy access to the Gaia energy, and now he has to disappear for a while to recharge. So as soon as they demorph, this means Philip has to leave for a while. And then when Todd gets back home, he discovers a present left by Philip, which is a box with a lost driver, a Joker memory, and an empty book with a note in the back that says, "Please take care of my beloved city, brother." Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed how I would adapt Double. Yes, Philip will eventually return.